what's going on, what's happening. Video gonna be about Puffy and Jermaine Dupri were talking about R&B, and they were talking about how they still listen to R. Kelly, and they were like acting like they felt guilty, like they were a couple school age girls sniggling and like, is it okay and what have you. If you listen to R. Kelly, you do. Now they contradict themselves because uh, Jermaine Dupri said there's a hole out here. Said 25% of R&B is locked up with R. Kelly. I agree because as a writer, producer, artist on his own for others, hook artists with rappers, gospel, gospel songs, the different styles that this cat put down, there's a void. And you'll separate the two. I always tell people all the time, stop acting like you know who these artists are. And I'm not going to say guilt, innocence, or in between. I'm just going to say it like that. You don't know none of these entertainers. So stop acting like you only go by what you hear, what you see, what is portrayed. It is in Hollywood. It is a way of escapism. You either go by someone's God-given talent and you with it, or you leave it alone. But to sit here and pontificate and go, oh. And then, of course, they was talking and they were trying to hype up Usher and say this and that and the other. No, he ain't going to be the king of R&B. Usher has a very good career. Probably the best showman of his generation. I'll give you that from the male side. But he ain't seen no R. Kelly. He ain't got the catalog. And no one has really tripped on Usher in almost 20 years. Let's just keep it a buck, okay? Let's get past the Confessions era. He's been spotty. 8701 was tight. I'd say My Way to about Confessions, he had a really good run. But did he really get past being a junior whopper Michael Jackson? No. But I'm tripping when these people act like, they're like, well, I'm still listening to R. Kelly. I'm like, who told you not to? You don't go to Twitter. You don't come to YouTube. You don't come to places. You make choices and decisions. I've known people personally who stopped listening to R. Kelly back in the day. I know people who still do. And it ain't no biggie. The man's music DNA is all over so much of music. And he even wrote for some of the most artists that I did. Plus, I did his stuff. And he is, one thing that Jermaine Dupri said when 25% is missing proved my point. He's the last dominant R&B artist. The last dominant. Not Usher, not Beyonce, not Mariah, not Mary J. Blige. I'm talking about his peers. Not Joe, not Brian McKnight, not D'Angelo, not Maxwell, not Lauryn Hill, not Erykah Badu. He was the one. Because he wrote, produced, he dominated the 90s, and I was dominating the early part of the O's. The last dominant R&B artist. So, and not Genuine. I don't want anybody saying something crazy. No. So if you listen to him, you do. If you don't, you don't. It's not going to be one big deal or the other. Music is music, art is art. Because we don't know none of these people. But I was clapping how these turkeys were sitting up there acting like they ain't heard things or ain't been involved in their own thing. And I don't trust industry cats talking about other artists, no way, because everybody in the industry got something with them. Puffy can't talk about nobody, okay? Okay, and Jermaine Dupri, come on now. Y'all can't talk about nobody in the industry. But if you listen to them, you do. And if you don't, you don't. Ain't no fly one way or the other. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts and comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. And if you listen to R. Kelly, you do. And if you don't, you don't. But music is subjective to your own, just like everything else is, especially when it comes to entertainment. So that's how it be. I'm out.